Welcome, and thank you for tuning in. If you appreciate this video, we invite those of you who haven't yet done so, to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the notification icon, to be notified when the next one is uploaded. We enjoy reading all comments, whether positive or negative, because it is very important to ventilate both sides of any issue. All we ask is that you observe the YouTube community guidelines. Today, we will be reviewing signs which suggest rather disturbingly that a desperate Toto Wolff could possibly be laying the groundwork for persuading Sir Lewis to remain at Mercedes. Yes folks, we who were so triggered by Toto's betrayal of Sir Lewis in Abu Dhabi, that we started this channel, and recently launched an online petition at change.org, calling for a public inquiry into the UK media coverage of that shameful day in F1, have seen what could possibly be alarming signs that we had to bring to your attention. As far as taking action to right the wrongs of Abu Dhabi is concerned, we invite our visitors from all over the world to sign the petition, which can be accessed through the link in the description section. Returning back to today's topic, our negative opinions about Toto are well documented in previous videos, where we have repeatedly shown that despite protestations to the contrary, he and Mercedes-AMG F1 are so ticked off about Sir Lewis going off to Ferrari next season, that they have been sabotaging his final season with them. They wanted him out before he could surpass their idol Michael Schumacher's record, but the unexpected resurgence of Ferrari caught them off guard. A discombobulated Toto's subsequent attempts to sabotage Sir Lewis for the benefit of George failed spectacularly. The desperate attempt in Belgium before the summer break was bad enough, but the subsequent effort in the Netherlands on resumption was worse. As shown in our previous video, in the Netherlands, the team conspired with Red Bull and the FIA to mess up his qualifying, by not promptly informing him that Checo, who Red Bull had released too early, was coming up behind. Despite the conspiracy dropping him down to 15th on the starting grid, with his gassed-up teammate starting 4th, the two drivers nevertheless finished next to each other, as George dropped down to 7th while the GOAT rose 7 places to 8th, and would have risen higher but for, you guessed it, team strategy. His post-race comment that he could have finished on the podium if he had started from where George started, was a direct dig at the team, to let them know they sabotaged his weekend at their own expense. Coming on the back of his post-Belgium comments that he should be able to put his faith in his strategists, it is clear that Sir Lewis is acutely aware that Toto and Mercedes are feeling some type of way about his departure, so why the heck is his sociopath team principal looking like he might be wanting him to stay after all, and more importantly, why would he think he can persuade him to stay? We are extremely concerned at what could possibly be signs that after all his sabotage attempts have failed, Toto the sociopath could possibly be considering a last-ditch effort to retain Sir Lewis. Adhering to the principle that there is more than one way of looking at events, we present those signs here for your own consideration. So, we have established our background for our new visitors, and reaffirm that we share the whistleblower's concerns that Toto's antics have put Sir Lewis at grave risk of serious harm. We have also documented how Toto has made several efforts to smear him publicly. Furthermore, we have been monitoring the Mercedes F1 homepage, which has systemically been degrading Sir Lewis's season for the benefit of his teammate. We were therefore concerned when they switched tactics and started blowing him up on their website. As we mentioned in our previous video, our concern was that they may be preparing the ground for something more sinister than they have done to date. But are there reasons for revising those concerns, when the blowing up is viewed alongside Mercedes's latest announcement? We have long held the view that Mercedes were looking to replace Sir Lewis with Kimi Antonelli mid-season, in an effort to mess up his move to Ferrari. The plan being that they would use the staged early comparative success of his teammate to accuse him of being demotivated or degraded, and replace him. Indeed, there were many reports that Kimi would be replacing Sir Lewis at some Grand Prix or the other, during the first half of the season. And when Mercedes recently announced that Kimi would be given an outing during free practice 1 at Monza, many reported that he would be doing so in Sir Lewis's car. This was only to be expected, given that this would be a home race for the young Italian, who was one of those in the frame for replacing their Ferrari-bound driver. So, why did Toto blindside everyone with the announcement that Kimi would be driving George's car? Depriving Sir Lewis of one free practice session would have fitted Toto's sabotage plan perfectly, so why didn't he deal that blow? Did he understand how invaluable it would be for Kimi to share that session with the GOAT? Has he given away the Mercedes strategy of using the information developed from Sir Lewis during free practice for George's benefit? Did he do it in the knowledge that Kimi's session will soak up some of the much-expected love that Sir Lewis will get from the Italians? Or, did he do it to provide an alibi for what we consider to be his sinister ulterior motive, which is to prevent Sir Lewis from going to Ferrari at all costs? The favorable coverage that Sir Lewis is currently getting from the Mercedes website heightens our concern that they are strengthening their alibi for something more sinister that they have planned for down the line. But, we recognize that it is possible to argue that the combination of the favorable coverage and the Kimi session fit a Machiavellian plan to win him back. What do you think? To help with your deliberations, you should recall that Toto's highly publicized efforts to get Max Verstappen as Sir Lewis's replacement have just come to naught. He has had to accept that his equally highly publicized efforts to insert George ahead of the GOAT have also failed spectacularly. Knowing that the driver that you gave every assistance you couldn't get the job done must be food for thought. He can't get Max and George is not up to scratch, so who else is available on the driver market? To top it all off, the Ferrari market valuation has exceeded that of the Mercedes parent company for the first time ever, because the Ferrari share price received a hike on the news of Sir Lewis's arrival, while that of Mercedes dipped. So, is it possible for the sociopath to be thinking that it's not too late to bring the GOAT back inside the fold? Has he finally determined that the cost of protecting Michael's legacy is too high? Can he just switch from wanting to end Sir Lewis's career to wanting to exploit his talent a bit further? Or, is he just perfecting the alibi for the worst that is to come? Well, before reaching your final decision, consider this tweet showing how Mercedes put a negative spin on Sir Lewis's commendable efforts at the Dutch GP. Is this evidence that they are still firmly tied to their sinister goal, or an accidental reversal? Thankfully, we are reminded of Anton Human 8446's advice that a snake only sheds its skin to become a bigger snake. Forza Ferrari.